Why are countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Ghana drowning in debt despite decades of aid and loans? Why does the IMF always show up when a country is on its knees, only to make things worse? Why are BRICS and dozens of Global South nations trying to break free from this system? Is debt now the modern form of slavery? And most importantly, is the IMF saving economies or silently destroying them? Let's start with the truth no one tells you on mainstream media. After World War II, when the West built institutions like the World Bank and the IMF, the world believed they were building a safer, fairer economic order. But hidden behind polished buildings and formal speeches was a trap. A trap designed not to help nations, but to control them. The IMF gives loans to countries in crisis, economic, political, or currency collapse. That sounds very helpful, but here is the catch. The loan comes with a set of strict conditions called Structural Adjustment Programs, or SAPs. These conditions are always the same. Cut government spending, remove subsidies on fuel, food and health, privatize state institutions, open markets to foreign investors, keep the currency weak, and above all, focus on repaying debt, not helping citizens. Sounds technical, right? But in real life, it simply means this. Fuel becomes unaffordable. Bread prices skyrocket. Hospitals collapse and people go jobless. The country is told to sell its own national resources, ports, power, even its airports, just to pay interest. And when the economy still crashes, the IMF says, here is another loan, but with more conditions. Imagine a family already starving. Instead of giving them food, you give them a loan and say, sell your house, stop feeding your children, and pay me interest. That's the model. It doesn't save them, it destroys them. Pakistan, for example, is paying over 90% of its tax income just on loan interest. Its people are suffering, but its hands are tied. Sri Lanka had to hand over its port to China after defaulting. Argentina has taken over 20 IMF loans in 60 years, and it's still in crisis. This is not coincidence. This is a pattern. The biggest fallacy here is this, that the IMF helps struggling countries. If that were true, shouldn't those countries be thriving by now? But they are not, because the IMF model is not built to help, it's built to control. That is the new form of colonialism. No soldiers, no flags, just signatures and interest rates. And this is why BRICS is rising, because these nations know that economic freedom is now the front line of global independence. The question now is, can BRICS really break this chain? To understand that, we must first look at how this debt trap has affected real countries and how they are now fighting back. We often think colonialism ended when the British left India or when African nations gained independence. But in truth, a new kind of colonialism replaced the old one. No soldiers, no invasions, just loans, documents, deadlines, and desperation. Let's ask something very simple. If the IMF's job is to rescue nations, why do so many of its clients remain stuck in poverty, inflation, and endless repayments? Shouldn't these countries be stronger, more stable, more independent? But that's not what the data shows. Let's go country by country and open the file on this modern economic slavery. Story 1. Pakistan. Pakistan is full of potential and resources, yet it's strapped. Today, over 93% of its tax income goes towards paying interest on debt, not building schools, not giving relief, just interest. For every rupee collected, only pennies are left for the people. And then the usual happens. The IMF steps in with another bailout. But the price? Petrol prices go up, electricity bills explode, rupee gets devalued, and middle class wiped out altogether. This isn't stability. This is economic strangulation. Story 2. Sri Lanka. In 2022, Sri Lanka defaulted on its debt for the first time in history. Why? Because years of IMF debt policies hollowed out its economy. Tourism collapsed, food prices doubled, medicines almost vanished from markets. The government ran out of dollars and the country ran out of options. The end result was it handed over its port to China, not as a business deal, but as debt repayment. A national asset gone forever. Is that rescue or quite colonialization? Story 3. Argentina. Argentina has taken 22 IMF loans since 1956, to be precise. That's more than any other country on earth. Yet, inflation is above 100%, poverty is rising, the economy is in constant crisis. IMF loans don't fix Argentina, they made it addicted. Each loan comes with a new set of demands. This is what economists call a debt spiral, a trap where escape becomes impossible.